everyone, it's Andrea, and welcome to this edition of Talks in the Car. What do you do when you feel uneasy in your spirit? When you feel unsettled, you don't feel like you're on an even ground. What do you do? How do you calm your spirit? How do you come back to the place of peace? This morning, I had an experience. I was getting ready to come to work, and I leave my home rather early in the morning. I open up the school that I work for, and as I got into my car, or opened up the door to my car, I realized that something was wrong. Something was different. The interior light that normally comes on when I open up the car door didn't come on. So I reached my hand in and reached up for the light because, there's been times when, if I bring something from over on the back seat, or sometimes I might hit the button by mistake. So I very well could have turned off the light, unknowingly. And so as I turned on the light, I saw that the inside of my car had been ransacked. There were things on the seat. There were things on the floor. My registration was on the floor, the package that I had. And as I continued, I was thinking, well, did I leave stuff out? And I'm thinking, like, what happened? And then it really hit me, someone had been in my car last night. Here I am. The car is parked directly in front of my home. Here I am asleep, but someone had ransacked my car. And the more interesting thing about it is that I have been trying to purchase a new car, and this car that I have has been such a blessing to me, but it's on the way out. And I've been trying to put some money aside in order to put towards a new car. And so just the fact that the car that I had was ransacked was just disturbing to me. There was nothing in the car of value. In fact, the only thing of value that they got was a small can of candy that I had in my dash, and they got that. But outside of that, sort of everything ransacked, and things all over the floor and things all over the chair. Nothing was taken. But in that moment, even though this is an older car, even though it's a car that I'm trying to replace and been working hard, trying to put money aside, and that's been a hard process, trying to put money aside in order to get a car. Even despite all of that, my peace, the first part of the morning, was so disturbed because someone had touched something that didn't belong to them. Someone had violated my property, had violated my personal possession, and ransacked my car. And so as I was driving the rest of the way to work, it's still dark outside, I'm by myself, my peace was disturbed, and I didn't know what to do in order to kind of just calm myself down, to get myself back into a place of peace. And so as I'm driving along, I said, okay, God, you must have something in store for me. You must have that car that I'm to purchase waiting for me. You must have things getting lined up for me to show me how much you care, to show me that you see the circumstances, and to give me what I need. And so I encourage you, if you are in a place where, for whatever the reason is, you're not at peace, your peace has been disturbed, whether it's due to a job situation, whether it's due to lack of finances, whether it's due to things going on with your children, with your spouse, with family members, whatever that looks like to you, I encourage you to find your peace in the peacemaker. Find your peace in God. Find a way to tap in further to the God that you serve, to the God that you trust, knowing that the God that you love, the God that you serve, the God that you worship, the God that you adore is able to restore your peace. He is able to take that uncertainty, take that unrest, take that sense of anxiety away from you, and he's able to bless you. He's able to wash you with his peace, wash you with his calm, and to remind you that he's always there. He'll remind you that he's always present. He'll remind you that he sees and he understands every circumstance that takes place in your life. Don't allow anxiety. Don't allow unrest. Don't allow feeling off balance to get you to a place where you don't trust God, where you cannot tap in to the power of God, where you can't say, God, I need you right at this moment. Press forward, because you know what? In this life, we're going to have times of stress. We're going to have times of anxiety. We're going to have times of uncertainty. We're going to have times when we don't feel as balanced as we want to. That's part of just being a part of this flesh. That's a part of living in this world. But in saying that, we don't have to stay there. We don't have to remain in that state. We can rely on the God of peace. The peace that passes all understanding. That's what the word says. And what does that mean? I never really understood that until I got a little bit older. I would hear that scripture coming up, the peace of God that passes all understanding. And as I got older, I began to understand that God is able to give us peace. God is able to calm our minds and calm our spirits in ways that we don't understand, in ways that only come from God. And so again, I encourage you, if you find yourself in a place of unrest, if you find yourself in a place where your peace is disturbed, where you're feeling anxious, where you're feeling a little bit unbalanced, rely on God. Tap into God. Be reminded that God is your peace, that God is the storm settler, that he is able to calm the storm. He's able to calm your heart. He's able to calm your mind. He's able to calm your spirit, because that's what he does. That's his job. That is what he loves to do for us who he calls his children. There's a song that comes to mind that says, I'll give you peace when the storm is raging. I'll be your light when the road ahead seems dim. I am your Father. Just put your trust in me. Anything that you need, have faith and believe. Have faith and ask. Just ask in his name. Be encouraged today. As I sang, I was so unraveled this morning at that incident. But as I began to tap into the peace of God, as I began to remind myself on how much God cares about me, how much he sees the situation, and to be reminded that even in this situation, God had me in mind. I could have walked out of my house because of the time of night and walked into a situation. The perpetrators could have been lurking around at that time of the morning. Anything could have happened, but I am grateful for the peace of God that came as I began to just rely on him, as I began to continue to trust him. And I am so grateful. And I also began to rejoice because, as I said, I've been looking for a car. That in of itself has been a stressful process for me, because haven't been able to find anything with the limited budget that I have, and trying to find something that's reliable. I wasn't anticipating having to buy a car at this point and at this stage, but here we are. And it's been a stressful situation for me, trying to look, trying to find, trying to see if there's something that will fit into my budget that will be sustainable. But as I went through that, and as I'm going through that, I am reminded that God sees, God understands, and God will provide. So remember, God will provide for you. God is your peace. God is your calm when the storm is raging. God is able to speak into your life and say, peace, be still. And what does that mean? God is saying that when that storm is raging, when that anxiety is getting the best of you, when your heart is pumping fast, when your blood pressure is going up, when your emotions are all over the map, when you can't settle down your thoughts, when you're up at night because of anxiety, because your thoughts, because of things that are going on, God is able to say to that storm, peace, be still. Don't allow the thunderstorms in your life to overtake you. Just rely on the peace of God, knowing that He has every single solitary thing in your life under control. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day, and we will see you next time on Talks